So Jacob's wife. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So I didn't even know there was. I had no idea that this movie was hyped at all, or the fact that people were looking forward to this movie. And I just happened to stumble upon it, and I gave it a watch. It started off very well. In summary, the story is about um, a reverend, no, a pastor's wife, a minister's wife, who's bored with her life. She wants to lead a bigger life, a better life. She wants more passion in her life. And her boring ass husband, she's tired of him. And she gets tempted, spoiler warning, she gets tempted into adultery, and things go really bad there, the supernatural element is introduced, which in this case is Dracula, a female version of Dracula. That's where we are these days. So, just like, Ghostbusters was recently all female, or, Ocean's 8 that nobody ever talks about, and now Dracula is a woman. So that makes complete sense, and I'm all about it. So what happens is the master, Dracula, female Dracula, wants this woman, right? And he bites her, and then shenanigans ensue, right? She slowly starts liking blood, sensitivity to sunlight. But the story then takes an interesting twist because it becomes kind of like because as she becomes more of a vampire, she becomes more carefree, more daring, more alluring, and she's more demanding of what she expects in her life, which is she's empowered, which was interesting. And I was looking to see how the husband would react to all this, being a minister, and he's a badass. Like he goes vampire hunting, and instead of just straight up trying to kill his wife, as I thought he would, their relationship is rekindled. They go after the master Dracula's together, and it's a husband and wife thing, and they bond together, and they start having great sex again. So that was pretty interesting, but that's as far as it goes for me with this movie, because the tone is all over the place. The tone is all over the place. It starts off seeming like very, very ultra realistic, very grounded and gritty almost. And I'm following it. I'm thinking it's like some Exorcist level type of horror movie. Like that aesthetic, that atmosphere, right? Really realistic. But then it takes a huge left turn and it becomes really goofy. The effects aren't great at all. The effects, and then during the realistic portions, during the first maybe 25 minutes of the film, or maybe even 25 minutes of the film, the cinematography works. It's grounded. It's gritty, dry. But later on, when the goofiness starts happening, the special effects and the cinematography kind of fails, because the special effects, the cinematography doesn't complement the special effects, right? The ultra realistic cinematography with the really goofy special effects. The master looks terrible. The master looks terrible, and you could tell, or I don't know if this was intentional. I don't know if this was intentionally supposed to be B movie ish, but if that was the case, then it wouldn't have started that way. It would have maintained that tone throughout the movie. But what happens is, at a certain point when the vampire is introduced, the very first vampire, which is the vampire, the victim of Dracula, the victim of the masters, this black girl who disappears from church, and once that vampire is introduced, the effects look terrible. The effects look horrible. The blood on the teeth look horrible, and most especially the voice of the vampire. They start talking like this, and there's some reverberation and effects done to make them seem demonic, and it doesn't work. It really seems corny, which contrasts the ultra realistic aesthetic of the movie. Same goes with the design of the master, Dracula, the female Dracula. She looks terrible, and not in a beautifully grotesque way. She looks terrible. And you could tell that they were trying to use as much black and shadows and darkness to cover to cover up the special effects, and it did not work. You could see just a bunch of things peeling off, and not in the right horrific way where you can see skin peeling off of a character or a zombie and it works. This just looked like, okay, that's a woman underneath all that makeup with a bunch of badly applied makeup stuck to this person that's peeling off. She did not look compelling at all, and I think she had problems talking with the aesthetic teeth, the fake teeth, and it just didn't come out right. And once again, the voice with regard to the master really doesn't work. Really corny, and the movie just devolves actually after they rekindle their relationship, which I think might be the ultimate message of the movie. I don't know if that was intentional, but that was the best part of the movie. Like I wasn't expecting that. Their relationship becomes better, and it's not like some director trying to shit on religion or whatever. Because the minister has a great part in it. He helps the wife, and together they rebuild their relationship. This was very interesting. If the movie maintained that, and went somewhere else, it would have been much better. But eventually, it devolves down into this creature feature featuring a female vampire, a female Dracula, and the effects look terrible, and it doesn't work. I really did not like the female vampire. Like, there was a scene where the vampire is descending, in front of behind the house and coming down onto the backyard, and you could just tell it was wire work, because wire work. What happens is the harness goes around the person and around their hips. So when someone is on a wire, they're not straight up like this. They're always tilting. Their legs are always going like this because there's no harness putting their legs in place, right? So their legs are always like this. So that's how you see. So a lot of the best wire work people, they know how to position themselves to make it look more realistic, like they are floating or descending or falling or flying. So if not, you see the amateurs, when they use wire work and they pull up a character, the legs are like that. Because that's how your legs naturally go when you're being hoisted from your upper body. Your leg, you sink, you go in this way. So you could just see that's how she was descending, just like that, like on a slant, and it just did not look good. The effects were terrible. The effects destroyed Jakob's wife. Really, the effects were not good at all, and the abrupt tonal shifts. Right, the movie had inconsistent tone, inconsistent atmosphere. Right, it starts off really gritty, really grounded, very good setup, and I really like the fact that they use this horror premise, a typical horror idea, which is Dracula, to explore a relationship between a man and his wife. That was very interesting, and for them being able to find love, because there's actually a scene where the master, the female Dracula, tempts Jakob's wife into because now she wants blood, into sucking her husband's blood by cutting a little slit on his throat, and but instead the wife jumps on him and starts kissing him, and they have great sex. That was great. I like that. That was great. But anything after that, the whole vampire hunting, it looked really hokey. There's a scene where, on his way to confront the master, the priest is stopped by the local sheriff, and they look into his trunk and they find a bunch of stuff. Like some pliers, some stakes, some holy water, and they instantly put, and that whole prop setup design looked really bad. Like, if I looked at it, I wouldn't know what that person was up to. Like, I wouldn't imply like this person is up to anything dangerous or anything. Like, the prop looked hokey. It didn't look like anything. It didn't look like a vampire hunter's gear. It didn't look like a serial killer's gear. It didn't look like anything. It was really bad. Once again, prop special effects in this movie, horrible. And so the cops see this and they immediately pull out their guns, like, oh my God, this guy is going to go, what? He's got a bottle of water, he's got some pliers, he's got some wooden stakes. This guy is like some miscellaneous handy guy, whatever, but he's a priest. Like, the last thing I would think as a cop would be that, oh, this person is dangerous. Although they did get a call earlier on that they saw him and his wife taking a body out into their car and so on, but that's just suspicion. Like, he didn't open the trunk and see a body in there. He just saw a bunch of really random stuff, and then they, so that was very contrived. And yeah, so the movie is very inconsistent, and I was pretty bored by the end and couldn't wait for it to be over. And is it a bad movie? No, I would say it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. Is it worth a watch? Nah, I don't think so. I'd say skip this one. If you're bored, yeah, check it out. But there are better vampire movies, better movies that explore, losing fate or I don't know, relationships. I don't think this movie is particularly good. I don't think so at all. It's inconsistent. The tone is inconsistent, and yeah, not a big fan. But let me know what you think. I'd like to hear. I like to be proven wrong. I would like someone to shed new light on this movie so that I can appreciate it and enjoy it, because that's why I watch YouTube videos. The videos of my favorite creators, they help me. They shed new light on properties that I've maybe seen 1,000 times. Maybe I didn't like initially, but shedding a new light on things with your comments. Let me know. Please let me know what you think about it. Tell your friends. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like, share. And I'll see you next time. We live in a society. Peace.